For me as a teacher, I would like my legacy to be that I can find that hidden potential in all the students. And I have a unique and lucky opportunity that most of my students I have for at least 3 years. And I think that that is so amazing, and really just encouraging the students, giving them that potential, letting them know you can accomplish something, and carrying that on not just in my class, but in all of their classes, making sure that they're getting the good grades, that they're ready for graduation, they're ready for the next step, they're ready for college applications and scholarships and the first job. So my legacy is just to really be there to support the whole student for their entire high school career and do everything I can to support them and make them as successful as possible.
At Success High School, we work with students who are fighting the achievement gap head-on. For me, the words achievement gap are not just buzzwords that come up on professional development days. They are the words from which I derive all of my instruction, interventions, and motivational strategies. My legacy of teaching will be that I devoted my career to working with the most at-risk students in our city. Every student of mine who walks across the stage at graduation is one more piece of our achievement gap chipped away. My legacy will be a thoughtful, research-based, and student-centered instruction that showed students step by step how to find their full potential as students and as citizens, and how to jump past the achievement gap into a better life and a brighter future.
I've been thinking a lot lately about what I would want my legacy to be as a teacher. I think the thing that I really would want to be known for is that I got the kids to see that learning was fun and it was exciting and that it never ends. You know, one of my favorite Einstein quotes says that intellectual growth should commence upon birth and cease at death. And I want the kids to know that learning is fun, it never ends, and that they themselves are capable of doing it with the brain that they have, with the work that they put into it, that they can be a good learner.
My legacy as a teacher. I want my students to remember me as a teacher that believed in them. I want them to remember that whenever they walked into my classroom, there was a smile and a hug waiting on them there. I want them to remember that I believe in them no matter what, and no matter what, they were going to do it. I also want them to remember that the skills that they learned were skills that they were going to use throughout their life. And the last thing I want them to remember is that I believed that they could do it, and I knew that they could do it, and I was always right.
I want my classroom to shape confident, curious, and passionate learners. I hope to leave a positive, lasting impression with my students about how fun math is, how passionate I am about teaching, or how confident they can become through mathematical experiences. I love hearing past students say they still remember the calculus and musical songs we sang in class. I wish for my legacy to be seen through the accomplishments of my students, both scholarly and within society, as they challenge and question the world around them.
I believe the goal of education is to engage each student to be a highly independent cognitive thinker and a lifelong learner, to prepare them to be emotionally and socially ready to be productive members of the community and of society. I would like to be remembered as a school team member who had the passion, the drive, and the commitment to work with all stakeholders to develop a stimulating, positive learning environment, and who utilized all the necessary resources to enable each child to reach their full potential.
Well, the teachers I remember the most were the teachers that I learned the most from, that challenged me, that made education fun, that made me want to work harder and love education as a whole and bring me to where I am today. So I think I'd like my legacy to be just like one of the teachers that I had. If my students remember my name, and they remember that I taught them well and in the manner that I taught them, and that they had fun in education, that's how I'd like to be remembered.
The legacy I hope to leave with my students is they have the self-confidence to take risks in order to achieve their goals. I teach my students to embrace their diversity and talents, and with that comes the beginnings of a leader. My hope is when they look back upon their time with me, they will remember my pushing them to their academic excellence, which will extend their parameters as a leader, and most importantly, that I genuinely and honestly loved every single moment that I spent with them.
I want my legacy as a teacher to be someone who has impacted the lives of students by making learning meaningful. I want to strive every day to bring learning to life in my classroom. I try to nurture a love for school and hope to see every one of my students develop into lifelong learners. I would love to see each of my students graduate from college and become honorable members of society.
As I think about what I want my teaching legacy to be, I want to be remembered for one simple thing, and that's that I touch the life of a young person each and every day. Knowing that I was that special push, that needed word, or just that presence that they needed each and every day of their lives. That's all I want to be remembered for. Thank you.